Hey guys, what's up? It's Oscar this time. Doing a box opening of the new starter decks. Now, I'm not gonna open up each of these and go into detail of what comes inside because we've all seen the spoilers and we all know what's coming inside each of the boxes. And this time they didn't do anything cool where they added the dice and they added this, extra packs. They wanted to make them super cheap and affordable for anybody to get into them. So let's go and get into it. One thing I was noticing as I opened up these is there's a new hollowing effect on all the stones, and the playmat that nobody seems to be opening is also different. What they did with it is they moved the ruler from the center to the side, and they seem to have made the item zone. So a couple of little tweaks, you'll see it here when I get to it. But for starters, I wasn't a huge fan of this light deck. Figuring out which one I'm going to open first, I think I'm going to go with the blue one, but I've gotten one of each. So we'll get started and open up this blue starter deck. Now, I was going to say these are great for new players who are just jumping into the game. This will be good for the next 2 years before rotation occurs for them. If you're not familiar, rotation occurs just like any card game once a year. So the oldest cluster would rotate out. This is just start of a new cluster. It's called the Reiya cluster. These boxes are super difficult to open. Pro tip, you should have gone to the bottom. Oh wait, forgot everybody likes to see all the sides of the box, so let's go back and do that. This one's called Below the Waves. It's the Mermaid starter deck. So if you're a fan of mermaids, this one will be the starter deck for you. Looking at all the sides, it's nothing too fancy or important. You see all the cards listed on the side, and looks like a warning for not letting 3-year-olds play with the cards. But there you go, and the very not shown top. Nobody ever shows the top of these box openings. Also, that's the bottom you should go through. I found it out later. So much easier. It looks easier here because I already saw me just open it, but if you're gonna open it, you're just go to the bottom. The boxes really don't offer for storage, so I don't care about keeping any of these. I'm just gonna really just shred into them and get into the boxes. So they came with the little bit of all these little paperworks. These are the rules to the game, so kind of like a detailed guidelines for anybody just picking these up to start playing with them immediately. I'd recommend also looking at the CR available on the website. That's a waste of space. They could have put cool artwork right there. But yeah, definitely check out the CR. It's also been updated as of the recording of this, which was the 18th. Here's a quick start guide, so if you just want to jump into the game with these decks and then figure everything out later, you can kind of flip through this and see the basics of each card. Shows the playmat layout as well and how that's changed. I'm just going to go through it myself when I get to that, as well as what each of the cards do, as in the keyword abilities, effects, and as well as turn phases. You see draw phase, recovery, main, and end process. Nothing too fancy. Again, if you've played the card game, you've already seen all this stuff, but for anybody who's new, here you go. This is the part I thought was interesting. As I was unfolding, I was like, weird, they moved the ruler to the left side. For anybody familiar, Forcible, anybody plays with their layout the way they want, but if you're ever playing the official ways, like they like to tell you how to lay it out, they put the ruler to the left, and the field's huge now. It's just this huge field zone, which is interesting. I guess we'll have to figure out where to put our stones. I'm probably gonna line mine up across the bottom now. Item area, that's a new area, and if you're not familiar with what the items are going to be, they're going to be paired up with the light starter deck. Probably most of all, it has gems it gains. We'll probably see more things be accumulated in the future, but for now he's the first one who has items. He's crap. That was I would like to see one of these playmats as a poster with all the zones squared off, so I can hang something like that on the wall. That would be pretty interesting. And you see me pointing here, it's gonna be weird getting used to having your ruler to the left. I'm so used to having it in the center, and we'll see how that goes going forward. I might just do like everybody else does and put things where I like to put them. A bunch of plastic protects the decks in the box itself. Again, not an important thing. It's just trash you're gonna end up throwing away here soon. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get into this water starter deck, and I'm not going to open up each one in detail. Most of us have seen all of the cards and what they do and their effects, and nothing's super exciting yet. We're waiting for all that support. What I am going to do is go through and show off each of the J/rulers and show off that artwork as well as that hollow effect that each one has, as You see here the J rulers are the full art sides, and the rulers would have a kind of the text box, which is slightly disappointing. It's interesting because it has a matte finish on the text box area only, and the title on top. You can see right there the gloss effect compared to the matte finish of those two areas. It's a nice transition. I like the way it feels. It's interesting. Now getting into the deck itself, again, I'm not going to go through all the cards, but one thing I would say I noticed as I flip through it is they have a nice feel to them. If anybody's familiar and you've gone through a second print run of a Lapis Cluster set, or even the Vingolf 3, they have an awkward matte finish to them, and a not so saturated look to them. They're kind of faded looking, but these are great. Everything overall feels good in the hands. I mean, yeah, we sleeve them, and so it's not going to matter in the end, but it's the small details that matter. Now, here's an interesting part I also found is they told us the stones were going to be hollow, and I didn't expect this. It's just like the stone item in the center itself is hollow, while all the other rest of the card is not. The title's hollow as well. I like the effect it gives. I thought it was pretty cool, but I got super excited when I saw that this was the exact same way. It's really neat. It really makes the card kind of stand out to me and have this little pop effect in the center. I'm a fan of it. I don't know how you guys feel about it. You can let us know in the comments below. After I saw this, I was like, okay, now we got to go through all the other starters and see their stones. By the way, they come with a total of 6 cards. So if you're trying to get a playset of 10 for some reason, you'll have to go through 2 starter decks or maybe trade with a friend. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and clean this all up, move it out of the way, and we're going to go through each of the other starter decks while we transition to that. If you like what you're seeing, definitely hit the like button. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, and we'll have more content for you in the future. And as you can see here, I'm still struggling to open from the top. I think I figure out either on this one or after this one to start opening from the bottom. Also, depending on where you buy from, not all stores will receive the same promos. They should receive them, but unfortunately some places don't. You'll get this promo Melfi card right here. It's an alternate art to the one that came out during CFC. It's very nice. Definitely gonna use them. You should get one for every box you buy. So I do have an extra one that I think we'll do a giveaway on. So if you want to enter this giveaway, join our Discord. We'll have a contest channel that I'm gonna open up soon, and one comment per person just saying you want to enter and which starter deck's your favorite, and that will enter you into the contest. And gonna have to limit this to US residents only so that it's easier for me just to get this out and shipped out already. So if you want to, link in the description below for our Discord channel. If you're not part of our Discord, we'll have future giveaways like at milestones, like 1,000 subscribers and such. Here is the dark starter deck, Reiya. It's a very nice hollow finish. As Joey has said before, he's convinced that's 0, and I wouldn't be surprised either. I think some people said the lore supported the fact that it could be 0. It's hard to show some of these. That crescent-looking moon in the middle is what's holographic. I get glare every now and then from my lamp, but it's pretty nice in person. A lot of these are nicer in person. Video can't really capture everything that I'm trying to show. Maybe if I had better lighting. I'm not a fan of this artwork on these dark stones. I just didn't like it. It reminds me of like when I was in elementary school, and this kind of dates me, and we played with Pogs, and so you had these Pogs with these random skull artworks all over them all the time. Nope, still didn't figure it out. I'm still struggling to open from the top. Go from the bottom, guys. There's no point in saving these boxes. They don't offer much storage for you. I'm really interested in seeing the support that they offer for a lot of these decks that we haven't seen yet. That will come out in the first set. This one has a very pretty shine to it. Hopefully he becomes usable. Hopefully you judgment with him often. He has the same effect on both sides, except for that sealed effect that we don't quite know yet at the bottom. It's still a mystery. We'll figure out how we find those out soon. You can see that gem in the center is the hollow point there. These stones are also nice. I think it's the artwork in combination with what they made hollow is what I'm a fan of on this one and the water stones. There we go, I figured it out. See how much easier that was just to go straight to the bottom. As the Panda deck, he hasn't impressed me yet. I thought it was cool when I first saw it, but I think it's because our first spoilers of the new cluster, and I was just excited to see something, and that's why I was pumped about him. But after playing with him a few dozen times in our videos you see when we face him off against each other, it kind of lacks quite a bit. We'll see how he gets going here soon. I will say I am a fan of his stone though. That is very pretty right there. It is that pineapple looking thing in the center. And then this effect. Boom. I like the way that looks. Again, I encourage you guys all to pick some of these up. If you can't afford all of them, pick up the one that's your favorite. I know in the conversation with DMO73, Colin, and then Jeremy were talking about how you could, go to say to pre-release draft or even just buy a booster box if you can do that and see what cards you pull and see what support you get the most of, and then that can help you decide on which starter deck you want to go with from there. This one's Colin's favorite. I know he's going to want to run this starter deck. The Keurig. He's always been an aggro player, just straight red cards. And this one has a nice burn effect. His stones, though, and I think it's maybe just the red to what is hollow, it doesn't really stand out too much. It's almost hard to notice even in person. I don't see it. And if you sleeve these cards with, say, matte finish sleeves, what most people do for easy shuffling, you really won't see these hollow items stand out very much. But still very nice to see overall. I'm glad they did something different rather than the usual, the whole stone is hollow across it and it just looks like a, plain card, and it's difficult to see the hollow sometimes at that point. In this one, some of the cards really stand out, and I was a fan of it. What I'm gonna do is compare this to the light, to the water stone, and show you the difference. That's how it's hard to see everything on it. Looking for that water stone. Where is it? I have trash over the desk right now. It's everything's everywhere. There it is. So just a comparison to how difficult it is to see that hollow on the red compared to the blue. Definitely more noticeable in that blue stone. But anyways, guys, that's all I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't want to go through everything in full detail and just bore you guys. But definitely let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to enter the giveaway, and we'll see you next time.